訓練に戻ってください。まあ力ずくでも連れ戻しますが。
面白い。連れ戻せるもんならやってみる。
この衝撃はまさか。
思い出したかよ、俺のこと。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video on my brand new anime channel. Today, we are going to be looking at episode 1 of the brand new anime Summoned to Another World for a Second Time. So, I just finished watching the episode a bit ago. It just came out earlier today. I made some notes, have some thoughts, and we will in general be going through this first episode, and I will then give my thoughts on it, and if I think it has potential, etc. Now, firstly, I will just say that in this video and any other video I am going through a anime review, there will be spoilers, so keep that in mind. So let's go through the plot itself quickly here for the first episode. So we get introduced to the main character, Setsu. At least that's his name in the other world, so we will be using that. We get introduced to Setsu. He is a high school student in his normal world, in our world, I suppose. And quickly into the episode, he gets summoned into the world of magic and Isekai and, the normal things. But he has been summoned to the same world he was summoned to before, 5 years prior. So, obviously, he knows everything about this world already. He's already super powerful. He's already like an endgame boss type character already from his prior reincarnation. He's not transported alone, though. His childhood friend, Yuhi, I believe her name is, and the rest of the class is also summoned with him to this world. Now, we don't really see much of the other characters in the first episode. We see them briefly at the beginning when they get reincarnated into this new world, or summoned into this new world. And we get like a few training sequence things early on and a few other glimpses of them, but we don't really see much of the classmates other than that, and we probably will not really be seeing much of them for the rest of the show. We'll have to see if they actually do something with them, or if they are just there for no reason. We do see a decent bit of his childhood female friend, though, Yuhi. There will probably be a lot of interaction between those moving forward, and we do see a good amount of interaction between these two characters in the first episode as well. Now, after he gets reincarnated, he sort of plays it cool. He doesn't really tell anyone who he is, or that he is the hero from 5 years ago that saved this world from the demons and such. A short bit after, he is caught by Elka, who is a... She's what? She's a guard. She's a guard for the king, the king's guard, or like holy guard, something along those lines. So she tells Setsu, it's like, hey, you're slacking. You shouldn't be slacking in this new world. They have like an interaction. She doesn't know who he is yet, etc. She tries to teach him a lesson. Sadly, though, or maybe not sadly, he outmaneuvers her easily. And yeah, there's a whole fan service-esque scene there that we'll get into a bit more later. So she then realizes who he is, and we then get introduced to the rest of the team, so to speak, that went with him on his conquest to save the world, or quest to save the world 5 years prior. And then these 3 comrades get to learn who he is. No one else really gets to know that the hero is back, though. He keeps it hidden from anyone else, and that's probably how he's going to try to keep it for the time being. We get some politicking, some talk about, should we go to all-out war here? What should we do about the demons there? War is starting. The usual. And otherwise, we don't really get too many other plot points in the first episode. Just that Setsu decides that he is going to go out and talk to Yuma, I believe his name was, which is I suppose, the main antagonist of the show. We don't really get to know much about him, just that our main character fought him at the pinnacle of the battle against the demons 5 years prior. We'll see what comes of that. But yeah, he decides that he's going to go out alone, without his friends, without his prior party, no nothing. He's going to just get his sword and then go out on a solo journey to hopefully solve this war before it even gets started. And that's basically the plot point of the first episode. Now, there were multiple good things about this show that I personally like so far. If you don't know me, which you probably don't know that I love Isekai. I love all sort of power fantasy shows. I love any and all anime that has like a stupidly OP main character that goes around just killing everyone instantly and just being super, super over-the-top powerful. That is something I've always enjoyed and something I will continue to enjoy for the rest of time, most likely. So this anime hits straight home for me on a concept basis. I do also quite like that we can skip the sort of introductory standard isekai tropes of having to learn skills in this new world and go through the whole training arc, which we usually have to. We can just get straight into him being basically the most powerful entity on this planet in this universe, since he was already there before. So that I do like. That we get straight into the action, and you can see him kicking ass from the next episode on, probably. I did think the sort of childhood friend bond and interactions between him and his childhood female friend were kind of cute, kind of, nice enough to see. We'll see what comes of that. But those are like some fairly heartwarming, nice interactions. So I thought that was fairly nice as well. The world seems pretty simplistic though, which I am not the biggest fan of. Like, yeah, okay, there's a war between demons and humans, and there's some opposing factions, and the kingdom wants to go to all-out war, and they were apparently very unhappy about the peace charter that the hero, Setsu, brokered last time he was in this world, before he was magically teleported back to his own world for some unknown reason, which we might find out later. Yeah, so there's like all this politicking, which is like, sure, I love politics, I love like all the world building stuff around that, but it's very basic so far. We'll see if they actually go more in depth on that in future episodes. I did also think the humor was fairly funny in this first episode. We do get some fairly fan servicey-esque clips here and there, especially the scene where Elka tries to show Setsu a lesson before she knows who he is, and he easily dodges and just smacks her ass, which apparently makes her realize who he is, because she apparently can recognize the main character by the way he smacks her ass.
Oh?
お久しぶりです。あなた様と再会できる日をずっと心待ちにしておりました。
お久しぶり。いつまでその姿勢でいる気だよ。
申し訳ありません。椅子ですね。
いや別に求めてないんだが。
So that's something. Then we get some more information about how depraved this young girl might be, considering all the things she is into in the bedroom or otherwise. Hard to say.
その通りだろうが。ほら行くぞ。
セッ様、強引なのはダメです。
But she's a very unique individual on that front, and Setsu seems to have taught her a lot of these very non-child friendly things, potentially. Who knows? But that was quite funny. I did quite like that. Outside of these things, though, I'm not really sure what else I really liked in this episode. As a whole, I think the first episode was fine. It did fill us with, at least it filled me with a lot of, like, an anticipation of, okay, what will we do next here in the story? Where will we go? What are we going to do after this first episode? As the episode ends with Setsu going on his solo journey to explore this world and try to prevent the war again, and such. So that was quite a nice end to the first episode, like leaving completely blank. Like where is it going? What is it going to do moving forward in the season? So I'm definitely a bit invested so far in the show. I do think the premise is fine. It's nice. And I think the animation, it looks fairly clean. So we can probably get some nice battles and OP power fantasy showcases in the future. So looking forward to that. I did think that one comment was a bit entertaining as well between Yuhi, the childhood female friend, and Setsu, that she says closer to the end of the episode, when they're talking about war and stuff like that, and she's training, learning magic and all, and she asks Setsu, why would anyone go to war? Thankfully, it doesn't go into that. I immediately paused the video, made a comment like, oh, sweet child. If only you knew. But yeah. Nevertheless, as a new show, I think this is definitely on the higher ranking of what I've watched so far. I've started on 10 shows so far this season. I have many more to go. But yeah, this is definitely one I'm keeping my eye on, and one that I have a lot of positive thoughts towards, and one that I think has a lot of potential to be pretty decent. If you're really not into isekais though, if you really don't like that sort of show, this might not be for you, because this does look to be the, as I said, general expected power fantasy isekai sort of anime. But if you enjoy that, which I greatly do, then you will probably like this quite a bit. I will be keeping my eyes on it and watching it week to week, and probably covering it week to week as well. On that point, I would like to mention that I will be covering every single anime that airs this season on my YouTube channel. I will be reviewing, potentially, every single episode of every single anime that airs this season, which is going to be a lot of videos. Now, I will be dropping some shows depending on how interested the audience is, how many of you watch each video on each show, and pick the top shows that are the most popular among me and my viewers to continue covering week to week. The others I will be doing more of a bi-weekly or monthly update on my thoughts on it as they progress. Outside of that, I will try to keep my videos a bit shorter, because I do feel like they are running a bit long, but do bear with me here as I am just starting and thinking about what I am going to do with this channel and how I am going to structure my videos and my reviews and all the other content I'm going to be making in the future. So have some patience as I get to grips with everything and find a good structure that works for me, and that hopefully also works for you as my viewers, and that you enjoy and want to come back to listen more to. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review of the first episode of the new anime Summoned to Another World for a Second Time, and I will be seeing all of you in the next one. Oh, also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Comment as well if you have any thoughts on this video. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.